Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is forming some brand new patterns on the chart that I will be taking a look at in just a moment. And there is huge Bitcoin news today because Bitcoin just had its first upgrade in over 4 years. In this video, I'll be explaining exactly what this upgrade means for Bitcoin. So definitely make sure you're watching this video all the way to the end so that you're not missing out on any of this important information. And just before we jump into it, make sure to drop a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into the Bitcoin news today because this is a big deal. The last upgrade that Bitcoin had was back in 2017, and that was the SegWit upgrade, short for segregated witness. And that last upgrade back in 2017, over 4 years ago, basically removed some of the signature data included in each Bitcoin block, which resulted in an increased limit in each Bitcoin block, which basically meant that more transactions can fit into each block and therefore slightly scaling the Bitcoin network and reducing transaction fees. So once again, that was the SegWit upgrade that we saw around 4 years ago back in 2017. And this upgrade that has just been implemented into the Bitcoin network is known as the Bitcoin Taproot soft fork. And this upgrade will optimize scalability, privacy, and smart contract functionality to the Bitcoin network. That is right, it can be possible for smart contracts to run on Bitcoin. So this upgrade was scheduled for block height 709,632, and we're currently above that block height, which basically means that this upgrade is now active. And even though this is known as the Taproot update, it also includes Schnorr signatures, which I will explain in just a moment. So first of all, the Taproot update will swap from pay to script hash to the Merkleized abstract syntax tree. If you have no idea what that means, basically those are two different methods of locking transactions with conditions until the conditions are actually met. And before the Taproot upgrade, once again, we were using pay to script hash, which allows other users to see the conditions and allows everyone to see all the different ways they could have met the conditions. But the new method of locking these transactions until the conditions are met, which is once again the Merkleized abstract syntax tree, that will hide all of the conditions except the ones that are met when the transactions are processed. So basically that just improves the privacy on the Bitcoin network rather than exposing a whole lot of data that doesn't necessarily need to be exposed. And this Taproot update will also improve Lightning Network privacy by making Lightning Network channels look like regular Bitcoin transactions. So this is something that we need moving forward if we're going to have more adoption in the Lightning Network, which is right now one of the biggest scaling solutions out there for Bitcoin. And so on to the next part of this upgrade, which is implementing Schnorr signatures. First of all, Bitcoin requires signatures to confirm a transaction, and currently Bitcoin uses the ECDSA, which stands for the elliptic curve digital signature algorithm. But this signature algorithm does not natively support multi-sig transactions. But instead of the elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, if we're now implementing Schnorr signatures, these Schnorr signatures can group together multiple signatures and output them as a single signature. So once again, this increases privacy and lowers transaction size and fees. So overall, this is definitely a positive upgrade for the Bitcoin network, but it's important to mention that this doesn't necessarily have an immediate impact on the Bitcoin price. But over the long term, this is definitely more bullish than it is bearish because it shows that Bitcoin can still be upgraded over a decade after it's been around. And I'll let you know about this Bitcoin news hours ago over on my Twitter. So if you don't follow me over on my Twitter, definitely make sure you're doing that for all of these extra real-time updates throughout the day. And the link to my Twitter is in the description down below. And on this tweet that I posted out, I got some questions about how this upgrade actually got implemented and if Satoshi Nakamoto was involved in any way. And the first thing to mention is Satoshi Nakamoto doesn't have to be involved in any future upgrade of Bitcoin because the way that these upgrades can go ahead is if the majority of the network agrees on the upgrade. So that's the important thing to know. We need what's called consensus across the Bitcoin network. And there was far more Bitcoin miners wanting to implement this into Bitcoin compared to anyone out there not wanting this upgrade to go ahead. But if there's a large amount of people out there that want an upgrade to go ahead, but it's still not the majority of the Bitcoin network that actually agrees on the upgrade, then we can have what's called a hard fork or a chain split, like what happened a few years back with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. There was a proposal to increase the block sizes on the Bitcoin network, and the majority of the Bitcoin miners did not agree on that upgrade, which basically meant that for anyone wanting that upgrade to go ahead, they had to hard fork away from Bitcoin to create their own network with their own hash power known as Bitcoin Cash. And that's just one example of a hard fork that's happened in the past. But this Taproot upgrade was once again a soft fork, meaning that the majority of the network agreed on the upgrade, so we didn't have to fork off onto a new blockchain or anything. Now getting into the technical analysis part of this video, here we are on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame. And you can clearly see here that Bitcoin is still holding above the 130 EMA on the 4-hour chart. And right now that's coming in at around 62.8K. So that is one of the first major levels of support in the immediate short term that I'm paying attention to for Bitcoin moving forward, because so far Bitcoin has seen 2 bounces along that exact line of support with the recent pullback to the downside. And we've already seen many more bounces previously on the Bitcoin chart back here. But when we're bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from this swing low at around 58K all the way up to the all-time high for Bitcoin, what we can see here is a perfect pullback straight into the exact golden pocket, coming in at around 62.3K per Bitcoin. So it's very important for Bitcoin to hold above that level, because while we're above that level, then this so far is just a standard correction for Bitcoin. Because for example, looking at these previous pullbacks to the downside, from swing low to swing high back here on the chart, we saw a perfect pullback to the exact golden pocket before seeing another bullish move to the upside. And then looking at the next pullback to the downside, as you can see, that was also straight into the exact golden pocket before finding support and having another bullish move back to the upside. And so right now we're seeing a very similar thing play out. And if this were to continue to play out like these other times back here, then we could be due for more bullish price action coming soon over the next few days potentially. But obviously, just because it happens back here, it doesn't guarantee anything's going to happen in the future. But with that being said, especially if Bitcoin can remain above the current support levels and continue on a bullish move up towards the all-time high, that would potentially complete this cup and handle pattern forming on the 6-hour time frame. I've mentioned this pattern over the past few days on the channel, but for the new viewers out there, this is a bullish pattern. And once again, we need to see a move up towards the all-time high from where we are right now to confirm this pattern. So right now, this pattern is not confirmed. I want to make that clear. But if Bitcoin ends up confirming this pattern with a strong breakout above the all-time high, then that sets up a technical price target towards around 78 to 79,000 US dollars per Bitcoin, which by the way, from the point of the breakout just there to that price target, you're talking around a 14% gain. So obviously a pretty decent opportunity. And zooming into the smaller time frames, looking here on the 2-hour chart, we have a potential inverse head and shoulders pattern currently forming in the Bitcoin chart. Now, this is definitely not a perfect inverse head and shoulders pattern, because this requires us to disregard this massive wick to the downside on that initial flash crash. And on top of that, at the time of filming this video, we have not seen a right shoulder play out just yet. But if we can end up forming a bit more of a right shoulder here and a strong break above the neckline, which is right now coming in at around 65,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. But if you're drawing the line from the candle wicks, then that's coming in at more like 65.3K approximately. And so after we see some sort of right shoulder and a breakout above the neckline, that is when this pattern is confirmed. So right now it is not confirmed. But if it does end up confirming with a breakout above the neckline, then the technical price target for this pattern is coming in at approximately 68,500 US dollars per Bitcoin, which from the point of the breakout to that price target is nearly a 5% gain. So obviously a pretty decent opportunity once again. And that would also put us pretty close to the all-time high for Bitcoin, which is currently sitting at around 69,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed or got something valuable out of this video, make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. We are fastly approaching 90,000 subscribers on the Crypto World channel, and I can't thank you guys enough. Seriously, I appreciate all of your support, and we're definitely still on track for 100,000 by the end of this year. And for the new viewers on the channel, before you click off, make sure you check out one of these uploads if you haven't already. I've got a trading tutorial video and a passive income video. So if you're serious about making money in crypto, definitely check those videos out. But that is now everything that I have to say. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.